On that day, Hollywood received a grim reminder. They lived in fear of what lies in the Far East and were disgraced to live in the walls of cultural hegemony.
あの日、星が降った日、それはまるで
夢の景色のように。
このまま僕たちの声が
2016 was a more innocent time. Back then, Pokemon Go just conquered the world overnight. The first and best season of Stranger Things came out on Netflix, and Disney was still able to make awesome movies like Moana and Zootopia. But something else happened in 2016. 10 years ago, Makoto Shinkai's Your Name snuck into theaters. It would turn out to be the Trojan horse of movies. On the surface, it was a cute little anime movie about a boy and a girl. It had a budget of around 750 million yen, which is around 4.7 million US dollars, and it made an enormous return of $405 million at the worldwide box office, with around 5 million of that coming from the US box office. At that time, it became the second highest grossing Japanese movie in the US ever, just behind Studio Ghibli's Spirited Away, a movie that came out 15 years prior. Both Spirited Away and Your Name shook up the Western movie market in different ways. Spirited Away made Studio Ghibli a household name, but Your Name made anime mainstream in Asia and the West. There are stories about people who've never seen anime before who asked their friends if they could get a copy of Your Name. Your Name got closer to Marvel-like mainstream status than any anime movie before it. But why was Your Name able to go past the ew, it's just cartoons prejudice that anime is so often subjected to? What made it different? What made it click with the Western audience and the international audience? Let's find out in this video. For those of you who don't know what Your Name is about, here's a quick summary of the plot. I'll put it up on the screen. You can pause the video and read it. So, let's get the most obvious reasons for Your Name's success out of the way. First of all, it's a gorgeous movie. Makoto Shinkai is known for his beautiful backgrounds, and Your Name certainly does not disappoint. Any random frame from the movie could be used as a wallpaper. Second, Tachibana Taki and Mitsuha Miyamizu are super relatable characters. Taki works hard to help out in a single-parent household, and he also has a crush on his senior at work. Mitsuha, at the same time, is stuck in the countryside and wants to go to the big city where everything is shiny and fun. Almost everyone can empathize with these characters. Third, the premise is simple. Boy and girl swap bodies and their lives get messed up as a result. It's easy for people to recommend this movie to their friends and describe what it's about, which makes word-of-mouth marketing very powerful. And word-of-mouth marketing is the most powerful kind of marketing for a movie. Most people would stop with the analysis of Your Name's success here. Beautiful movies, relatable characters, easy to explain premise, word-of-mouth marketing, excellent writing. All the right ingredients for a viral hit movie. But I want to go deeper than that. Here is the real reason why Your Name, aka Kimi no Na wa, blew up. Okay, before I explain the real reason, we need to get some background information out of the way first. Before Your Name, there were lots of other anime movies that made it to the West, but none of them had the same cultural impact. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, Wolf Children, A Silent Voice, all masterpieces in their own right, but no cigar. Even Makoto Shinkai's previous work didn't have the same impact in the West. So why did all these other movies not have the same success as Your Name? I think I know why. First reason. Reason one, everybody loves fried chicken. The reason for their lack of critical success in the West is because the Western audience is accustomed to Hollywood movies. We grow up with this stuff. Hollywood storytelling is the only kind of storytelling for most of us. In the book, Save the Cat, Hollywood screenwriter Blake Snyder deconstructs the structure behind Hollywood storytelling, and he specifically explains the tricks of the trade that create the magic of Hollywood storytelling. Well, at least during the time period when Hollywood was still able to make good movies. One of the most important principles he describes in the book is give me the same, only different. It basically means that people don't actually want something different. They want the same thing, maybe a little different, but not too far from home. Studios and audiences, as it turns out, are naturally risk averse. Studios don't want to risk losing money, so they back safe movies. And audiences don't want to risk spending their hard-earned money and limited free time on a movie where they don't know what to expect. But at the same time, audiences don't want to watch the exact same thing again and again. They want something similar, but not the same. It's like the difference between American fried chicken and Korean fried chicken. It's all fried chicken, but still different. And Your Name fits perfectly into the pre-established Hollywood fried chicken that Western audiences are so comfortable with. The core premise of Your Name is really the same as Freaky Friday, a Disney movie which came out 13 years earlier. In Freaky Friday, a mother and a daughter who do not get along at all suddenly swap bodies and they learn about each other by living each other's lives. Through this process, mother and daughter are able to mend their differences and eventually become friends. Sound familiar? Your Name is essentially a love story version of Freaky Friday. Obviously, it's not exactly the same thing, but you get my point. The core premise is the same fried chicken. I wouldn't be surprised if people recommended Your Name to their friends by saying you should totally watch it. It's basically a romantic version of Freaky Friday. Americans who grew up watching Freaky Friday on a Disney Channel would have immediately understood what Your Name was about, thereby lowering the barrier of entry. And older people who grew up watching the 1976 original Freaky Friday or read the book when they were kids would have also immediately understood the assignment. Everyone would have felt safe spending their valuable Friday night watching Your Name. You could have easily recommended the movie as a Japanese Freaky Friday to get non-anime fans to watch it. Look, there's a lot more I can go into regarding how Blake Snyder's book on Hollywood storytelling structure explains Your Name's success, but I don't want to make the video too long and too technical. If you want an even more in-depth exploration of Your Name's success in relation to Hollywood storytelling techniques, leave a like and a comment below to let me know. I could have ended the video here, but there is one other unique reason for Your Name being as successful as it is. Just Give Me the Same, only different, wouldn't have been enough for most people to get over their prejudice against anime. Ew, it's just cartoons is far more powerful than you think. So here is the second reason for why I think it became a big hit. Reason 2, a wholesome poster that just works. I think another big part of Your Name's success is the movie poster itself, and more importantly, what it communicates. The movie poster spells out the entire premise for the audience before even a single word has been uttered. Simply looking at the movie poster, you can tell that this is a movie about star-crossed lovers of some kind. It's clean, it doesn't feature more waifus, there are no big anime titties that might be disturbing for non-anime fans. It communicates that it's the kind of movie you don't need to be embarrassed about watching. It's the type of movie that needs to be taken seriously. The key word here is star-crossed lovers. Boy Meets Girl is the oldest story in the book. It's one of the archetypes that is universally loved and understood. Youth, first love, searching for the one you're meant to be with. It is an ideal we hold tightly onto even as we grow up, and we lose sight of these ideals as we gradually become adults. So, in summary, Your Name was successful because 1. It fits well into existing movie tastes of mainstream audiences everywhere in the world, tastes which had been formed by Hollywood. 2nd, the premise made it easy to describe and to recommend. 3rd, a wholesome movie poster that can overcome prejudices. And 4th, star-crossed lovers / Boy Meets Girl is a universally loved and understood genre that transcends language and culture. I think Your Name really became the Trojan horse that made anime mainstream. It was this movie that showed the Japanese anime industry that foreigners are willing to pay money for anime and that there's a lot of money to be made by giving anime movies a theatrical release in the West. 10 years later, the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie was a watershed moment for the industry. It was the first anime movie to outgross most of the Hollywood releases that came out in the same year. It caused a massive upset within Hollywood. There were reports of celebrities genuinely being upset because Demon Slayer was able to outgross Hollywood productions. Of course, one might argue, Netflix licensing more and more anime played a huge role in anime becoming mainstream, but I think and Netflix pushed more anime onto its platform because more people were clicking on it. It's a bit of a chicken and egg problem. I think it was Your Name that opened the door to the West, and several years later, Demon Slayer walked right through it. Without Your Name, Demon Slayer might not have become the juggernaut franchise it is today. However, Makoto Shinkai's works that came before and after Your Name didn't have the same critical success. 5 centimeters per second, Garden of Words, Weathering with You, Suzune. But why? I'll make a video on their lackluster reception in the future. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when that video comes out. In the meantime, if you loved Your Name, then you might also be interested in reading my light novel, Will You Walk With Me? It's a story about a boy and a girl who grew up in a mountain village where the snow falls every year. But after high school graduation, they go their separate ways. It is a bittersweet love story about youth, growing up, and facing harsh realities. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.